welcome to These Are the Blades of Our Lives, the figure skating show where I talk to you about figure skating like it is drama for our mamas. Hello everyone, the small summer season has started. I have been watching a couple of competition, especially for the junior Grand Prix assignment. And of course, I have been on figure skating Twitter. And a lot of things have been posted, have been going on. So we have now the International Skating Union, ISU. Um, they came up with the countries that are entering for like the junior, the senior worlds, the Europeans, and the four continent. And they also gave us like the number of entries for each country and each discipline. So starting with juniors, for men, Japan and South Korea are the only countries with 3 entries for men. The US and all the other top 16 countries all have 2 entries, with the rest having 1. For the junior women, again, only Japan has 3 entries for the junior women in worlds. So these are for worlds. So only the Japanese women will have 3 entries in world. Everyone else, like South Korea, US, and France, they all have 2 entries. Now, I don't see China as having 2 entries, so I guess that means they only have 1 spot for junior worlds, which is really heartbreaking because I've been watching a lot of the international Japanese competition, and the Japanese are building a really solid young junior women field. So I think it's really sad that they only seem to have 1 spot. We'll have to wait and see what happens. In pairs, we have 3 spots for Georgia, which I have a poor feeling on. You guys know how I felt about it. Having a senior Olympic competing pairs come down to win these spots, it left a bad taste in my mouth. Canada and Ukraine also have 3 spots, and the US and China have 2 spots. I'm really looking forward to see, because the current junior pair that China has, they're going to be senior this season. So I'm looking forward to see which new pairs China are going to debut for junior worlds. Ice stands on both the senior and the junior level, it is packed. Only the US has 3 spots for the juniors at junior worlds for dance, with the other powerhouses like France, Canada, and the others only having 2 spots. Now, that was junior worlds. Those were the spots and the entries per country for junior worlds. Now, for senior worlds, men is brutal within several countries, with each of these countries having formidable contenders. France, Japan, Kazakhstan, and US all have 3 spots, with poor Italy set up for a bloody internal battle because they only have 2 spots, and I can literally count that Italy has at least 4 contenders for those 2 spots, maybe a 5th one. For women, I think it's even worse than men. There are so many women that I would love to give a spot to. However, the ISU suck, and they won't agree with me. I feel like this is the perfect setting for heartbreak for countries like Japan and the US. Although they both have 3 spots, I still feel like it's not enough. And let's not even talk about South Korea with just 2 spots, which is absolutely not enough given the number of women they're going to have competing. So that's the spots for the women at senior worlds. Pairs is the most shocking of all the disciplines. The only country with 3 spots is the US. So the only country that can have 3 pairs at senior worlds is the US. I didn't see that coming. That wasn't on my bingo chart, but okay. Japan, Italy, Canada, and Germany all have 2 spots. With Japan, yes, I get it. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how the numbers work for the other three countries, but they only have two spots. So Canada only has two spots, Italy only has two spots. I feel like Germany's okay with two spots, but I feel like Italy and Canada with just two spots, like the men, there are many contenders in each countries, and it's gonna be a battle. For ice dance, we see only Canada and the US with three spots, from which I am eternally grateful. Other than France, who now have a problem with the birth of a new team and are short one spot, I feel like the other countries with two spots will fare well. It won't be a real big issue. I mean, the reality of ice dance is that it's seniority and politically based anyway. So we weren't going to see much mobility in ice dance this season anyway. So I guess it's okay. For European, which is a little less stressful for me, especially regarding men, Italy has three spots, while France and Estonia has two spots. Women, where for me at European, it's all up for grabs. We have countries like Estonia, Georgia, and Italy all having three spots. No, Italy does not have three spots. Italy has two spots. Belgium and Italy have two spots, which I feel like they can make do it. They can work with this. And ice dance at European, three spots for France and Finland, with everyone else getting two spots, which I feel like it's a little bit of a relief for me, especially for France, because I feel like there were some teams that were gonna be left out, and it wasn't gonna be nice. Lastly, at four continent, we have an Oprah-like attitude going on here, where every non-European country has three spots. For me, those are like the four main events outside of the Olympics on my skating calendar. So it's nice to have a better understanding on how the spots are being distributed and a little bit of understanding of what's going on behind the scene. The ISU also updated the minimum combined total element scores for all four disciplines. So for all events and disciplines. So for junior worlds, you need to have 80 for men, 72 for women, 63 for pairs, and then 71 for icing. So these are the minimum requirement that these athletes need in order to be eligible to compete at Junior Worlds. For European and four continent, men requires a combined element total of 86, women 75, pairs also 75, ice dance is going to be 85. For worlds, men is now we have some major changes in worlds. The minimum requirement, the combined minimum requirement for worlds. So men is now 109. It was previously 104. I'm going to say, given the fact that men as a collective is struggling and facing so many injuries, I'm not sure more difficulty is required, but we'll see how this plays out. Women, which is now 88, it was previously 90. I'm not sure how I feel about the women being the only discipline that was reduced in their element scores. While I have always been very vocal about the dangers of, ultra difficult elements, especially for women, that does not mean I don't want the sport to progress. Will this move open up more opportunities for women in the sport, or will this become a point where people use it against the discipline of women? We're gonna have to wait and see. Pairs, which was previously pairs is now 91. It was previously 88. So pairs and women have the same score. So women is now 88. They were previously 90. Pair is now 91. They were previously 88. I said that pairs was getting stronger, and it seems like the ISU also agrees with me. And I guess this might be where the difficulty level went up. Ice dance is now 98 and it was previously 94. How will this change the landscape of dance? I don't think it's going to change it much because, as I said many times before, ice dance is all about the politics and the backdoor dealing as well as seniority. So I don't really see this changing much. As for the Olympics, I will be honest and say I'm not sure. I really am not sure how these spots and entries really work, but from what I have gathered from skating Twitter is that men and women have qualified 20 spot each at World. So that was last year's World, no, this year's World. They qualified 24 spots each for men and women. And then there is an additional 5 spot which they can earn at the qualifier, the Olympic qualifier, which is to be held in September in China. So in total, there's 29 spots up for grab for the men and the women discipline for the Olympics, with 24 of it have already been earned, and then 5 more spots up for grab. Pairs, they qualified 16 spots at World, and there is an additional 3 spots to be gained at the Olympic qualifier. And then dance qualified 19 spots at World, and they also have an additional 4 spots to be distributed at the Olympic qualifier. I think that's how it works. If you guys know, please let me know in the comment because I'm a little lost in terms of the Olympics, but you guys please feel free to let me know in the comments. We also have the announcement of the 57th Neighborhood Trophy as part of the ISU Challenger, and it will be held between the 25th and the 27th of September. For me, this event and the Olympic qualifier will signify the start of the big season. So this for me is the start of the big season. We also have some program announcement from some of our contenders. Brady Tennell is doing her short program to No Time to Die and her free program, The Mission. Both choreographed by Benoit Richard. And you know what? This pairing is growing on me. Like an annoying cousin that you love because she's family. It may not be my aesthetic preference. However, Brady knows what she likes and she is staying true to that. Alina and Ethan Peel have a rhythm dance to MC Hammer's Too Legit to Quit, choreographed by Madison Hubble and Adrian Diaz. I made a video about the songs which I would like to see skaters perform to, and Too Legit to Quit was my pick for Ilya Milanin. Come on, Ilya, you could do this. I am also really looking forward to seeing what the Peel siblings can do with this program. I think this is quintessential 90s. And I feel like Madison and Adrian may just really get it right. At least I hope so. Sofia Semendolkina is skating her short program to Shadas. I hope I'm saying that right. And then her free program to Sunset Boulevard, of course, by Andrew Lloyd Webber. The short is a very heavy piano and violin centered piece, so I feel like the choreography will be very important. As for Sunset, I feel like that's an Olympic staple. We were gonna see it from someone one way or the other. Anastasia Gabanova is doing Sunsana for her short program, and then Unchained Melody and The Love Inside from the Ghost musical for her free program. I love Bollywood. I truly do love Bollywood. However, I can't say I love Anastasia's take on Bollywood. This would not have been my pick for a short program for her. As for the long, I guess we'll wait and see. Ekaterina Karakova is doing a short program to Ne Assiste Pass, and her long program, her free program, is going to be Moulin Rouge. I'm interested to see Ekaterina's take on these two pieces. This is a more mature take that Karakova is taking with her skating this season. I know a lot of people have mentioned that, her previous programs had a juniorish feel to it. That was a source of criticism for her skating. So I'm really looking forward to her picking some more mature music and seeing how she interprets these more mature music. And then Mikhail Shodorov is doing his short program In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins, and then No Good by Kalo. And then his free program is Fifth Element. I said I wanted more soft 90s rock and figure skating, especially in men. So I was like, yes, I'm here for it. And not only do we have soft 90s ballad, we also have some hard rock. I'm here for this combination. I'm here for it. The free, I feel like it's really in line with like Mikhail's taste. It's a little fun, it's a little gimmicky, and then we have some drama. And so I can definitely see, that particular program on him. Cheon Kim is doing KL de Trois. And it's choreographed by Shaylin Bourne. I am not 100% about this choice because this is a music that requires emoting. And I feel like my girl Cheon might not have that emotional range quite yet. The free skate is to the Teguki. Again, I hope I'm saying that right, which is the soundtrack, and it's being choreographed by Jeffrey Butto. Nothing like a war movie soundtrack to get you in the Olympic spirit. And Cheon saw that movie several times, so she is ready to battle. This I can more see her in, but we'll see how it all plays out. Jia Chen is making her senior debut, and she is doing Nocturnal in C sharp minor, also choreographed by Jeffrey Butto. As a fan of Butto, I am really looking forward to see how this collaboration turns out. Please, skating deities, let this be magnificent. Regarding this choice of music, Gia said, I've always loved Chopin Nocturnal number 20. I've wanted to use this piece during my career, and now I finally get to showcase it in my senior debut. Aww, she's so well packaged in terms of how she speaks. It's cute. And then the long program is Spartacus. It is being choreographed by David Wilson. My thing with David, sometimes he is inspired and we just get the most beautiful creation. Other times he has moments of phoning it in, like he just called it in. If Gia can inspire David, this could be one of the best senior debut programs ever. And I'm praying that Gia has inspired David. Amber Glenn's short program, Like a Prayer by Madonna. I cannot find any information on the free, but I had made a video previously, again, about music that I wanted skaters to skate to, and I wanted Amber to do Gaga, but she upped me and did one even better. She is doing Madonna, and she is also doing the original Madonna. I am like, yes, this is what I want to see. Look, just think about it. Like a Prayer by Madonna at an Italian Olympics. It feels right in my soul. Please, please, please let this choreography suit Amber. Let this be a masterpiece. Let me have this, please. We also have some retirement announcement. Yaroslav Penat has announced his retirement. He will be continuing as a coach and a choreographer. The Elvis gentleman is going to continue as a choreographer. I'm here for it. I am here for it. This man brought Elvis to life on ice. I am here to see these choreography. Maya Callan also announced that she was stepping away from the sport. She literally wrote a heartbreaking post about her struggle, her heartache. And again, this is a child. We have to constantly remind ourselves that this is a sport that's centered predominantly around children. And the expectation that are put on these children, the pressure that are put on these children is more than we as adults can even begin to imagine, let alone deal with. For this young woman to have been put in that position and to have made the decision because of the position and the pressure and the heartache she was suffering is devastating. I cannot say it enough. This sport needs a major revolution so that it can fix the numerous child abuse, sexual assault, just the numerous issues that are festering within this sport. Um, and then Amanda Dean 5470 reminded me that Yalen Kim has also retired. Amanda, I was just trying to act like it didn't happen. I had blocked it from my memory. I thought like if I pretended like it didn't happen, this season Yalen would magically appear on the ice. I was living in a delusional land, but you brought me back to reality. Yes, guys, Yalen Kim is retired. We also have the retirement announcement possibly of Brady Tennell after this season. And I feel like we're coming towards the end of an era. And then for like some news, as for like what's generally happening in skating, we all know Russia is coming back for the Olympic with men and women only. However, Glittering Moonstone 2022 left a comment on my last, video that made a valid point, which is she believes that the Court of Sport and Arbitration, the CAS, may bend down to Russia and let the dance and pairs compete at the Olympic. We will have to wait and see, or compete at the Olympic qualifier. We will have to wait and see if Miss Glittering Moonstone 2022 is correct, if the Russians are triumphant once again. If that happens, I feel like my bingo skating card will be in complete disarray. Also, you are right. I did forget the superstar that is Miss Belinda. Yes, her commentary needs to be brought back. We need to Tara and Johnny and put Miss Belinda in the booth. Let her spew some more truth for us. You are correct. We also got the medal design for the 2026 Olympics. And my favorite quote on Twitter was, "It's better than that disaster." Yes. Um, yeah, looking at the design that was going around years ago, but that isn't saying much. So the quote was, "It's better than that disaster looking design that was going about a couple of years ago, but that isn't saying much." I agree 100% with this statement. I was expecting so much more from the Italians. The disappointment is deep. I really thought Italy was going to come with a design for the Olympic medals where I was going to be like, yes, Italy, get it. But no, that's not what we got. The ISU official Twitter account wrote that it's not about the jumps, step sequence, or where styles meet skills and the ice becomes the dance floor. Skating Twitter had a moment with ISU. I agree. It is sad that the ISU judges are not in line with the ideas of the ISU. Because if the judges felt the same way, maybe we would see some scores that made sense. But the ISU is full of shit. It is about the jumps. Like, who are we lying to? Also, my beloved Nicole Bobek is coming out with a book. I think the book is already out. If you were around for the Bobek era, you understand my love. This was a girl with all the potential, all the star power, all the dramas. And you know, I was drawn to a moth, to the Bobek flame. You know, I was here for all her divaism. Oh my God. Anyone who missed the Bobek era, you missed it. The Nicole Bobek era was epic and great. Um, we found out that Daria Graham has a new partner. I really liked her old pairing with Mikhail Savarsky. I'm not quite sure what happened with that pairing. I hope it was amicable. But Daria Graham is now going to be skating with Gregory Rodin. He's still pending his release from the Russian Federation, but once that happens, they will be competing. I would like to know what happened between Daria and Mikhail. If anyone knows, please let me know in the comment. I really like them together. I saw a birthday wish for Annika Hockey, and I realized she just turned 25. And once again, I realize I constantly forget how young these skaters are. They start the sport so young, and we see them for so many years that they just become a lot more older than they really are. But Annika is only 25. Given how figure skating in pairs is going, she has another 15 years possibly in her career. And for me, that's just amazing. There's just so much future ahead of her. So happy birthday. Yuzuru Hanyu also had an interview, and he said that after the Pyeongchang Olympic, I already wanted to step away. But truthfully, I could not stop because I'd said in so many interviews that I'd land the quad axel. It was my dream, and I was terrified of letting go of it, terrified of giving up. I always say that there is no way for us to understand how difficult it is for these high level competitors. The mental and physical stress and strain that this in all sports put on these athletes is beyond understanding for someone like me. Guys, let me tell you a truth. I'm someone who wants workers' comp because I got a paper cut. So you can imagine high intensity pressure is not for me. But for Hanyu to have achieved all that he achieved in his career, yet to still felt pressure to continue, is truly just, oh my God. Oh my gosh. Also, Benoit Richard announced that Insu Kim has joined his training camp as a coach. I can't really picture this partnership. However, I loved Insu. I remember as one of the few non-Iteri skaters who was making waves on the junior level, and I loved her then on the junior level. I was really sad that her senior career was so short because I felt she was so beautifully packaged. She was so musical. She was such a little diva. There was so much drama going around her. She had the mini, Tanya Nancy situation going on between her and Mariah Bell. There was just so much that I was here for the tea. So for her to have retired was really heartbreaking. But she's going to be a coach, so she's going to be continuing in the sport. So that's always nice to see. Rika Kihara updated her social media stating, there are only about 2 months left before competition really begins, so I can't help but feel anxious. Still, I want to do everything that I can and embrace even the smallest chance. Oh Lord. Guys, I have been waiting for the Rika comeback for what seems like forever. And I just want to ask you guys collectively, do you really think this time it's for real? Can Rika really make a comeback? I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? Um, and then Cheon Kim, following the season, she made a changing coach. So she is leaving her longtime coaches, Han Sung Min, and she is going to Tom Zakacek. Am I saying that right? Zakasek. Tom Zakasek. I might not be saying that name right. So Cheon stated that The skates are higher and my determination is stronger than ever. Competing at the Olympic has been my dream since I was young, and I'm determined to achieve great results. I'm not sure about the coaching decision. As a political move, maybe. However, I don't believe there is anything worthwhile that Tom can give her. I saw the harness attempt of the triple axel, and I don't believe the Olympic season is the time for a skater to be trying to learn a triple axel or any other extremely difficult elements. For me, this is not a wise move. On a side note, I also feel bad for the South Korean coaches. It seems like they put in so much effort working on building the foundation of their young skaters. However, once these skaters reach a level, they just they all leave. You know, and I know this is a common practice in skating. I know it's a common practice in skating because they have what you call starter coaches and finishing coaches. I know this, however, it still must be so hard for the South Korean coaches who are trying to build up their reputation. So there is that. Then we have the fact that Jia Chen is making her senior debut at the Cranberry Cup International, which is going to be August 7th to the 10th. And then we're also going to see her at the NHK Trophy, which is going to be September 25th to the 27th. So Gia has officially left the Toronto club and returned to Korea to continue her preparation for her senior debut. The cricket club stated, "We would like to announce that Jia Chan has left cricket club and returned to train in Korea. She liked training in Canada and she plans to come back here to train for camp next year. We wish her the best of luck in her new season." I'm curious as to the reason why this decision was made. I understand last season was a struggle, however, nothing happens overnight, so I was hoping they would try to make it work. Right now, Gia only has one Grand Prix spot, and I was hoping Brian Orser would have pulled some string and got Gia the to be decided spot at Skate Canada. Let me hope. So of course, I don't see that happening anymore, and I wonder what happened. I mean, I could guess at a couple of things. Gia is so young; she missed home. This is a brand new country, a brand new environment. I could understand why she would leave. I don't know. If anybody knows, again, please let me know in the comments. Um, we also have the entire calendar for the season. It has been posted. I will quickly tell you guys, starting with the Junior Grand Prix events, all the events we have. So we have the Junior Grand Prix Latvia, oh my gosh, which is August 20 to the 23rd. Then we have the Junior Grand Prix Turkey, which is going to be the 27th to the 30th. We have Junior Grand Prix Italy, which is September 3rd to the 6th. We have Junior Grand Prix Thailand. Yay, they kept it in. Oh, maybe they might need to change that because of the political situation with the literally war that's going on in Thailand right now. So they may have to change the Junior Grand Prix. But it is for now, Junior Grand Prix Thailand is scheduled from September 9th to the 13th. Then we have Junior Grand Prix Azerbaijan, which is from September 24th to the 27th. Junior Grand Prix Poland, which is from October 4th to October 1st to the 4th. And then we have Junior Grand Prix United Arab Emirate. I want to go to this. It's going to be in Dubai. And it is from October 8th to the 11th. And then we have the Junior Grand Prix Final, which is going to be in Japan, which is December 4th to the 7th. And then finally, the ISU Junior World Figure Skating Championship, which is going to be in Estonia. And that's going to be from March 3rd to the 8th. I am wondering if God, hopefully the situation between Thailand and Cambodia will find a peaceful resolution. But I wonder if God forbid it continues, if the Junior Grand Prix assigned to Thailand might be reassigned to South Korea. We're gonna have to wait and see. As for the senior events, we have like the Grand Prix, Senior B, Challengers, and so forth. So we have Grand Prix de France, which is gonna be from October 7th, 17th to the 19th. We have Cup of China, which is October 24th to the 26th. Skate Canada International, which is October 30th to November 2nd. NHK Trophy, which is November 7th to the 9th. Skate America, which is November 14th to 16th. Again, in Lake Placid. We have the Finlandia Trophy, which is November 21st to the 23rd. And then, of course, the ISU Grand Prix final is going to be in Japan, and both junior and senior are going to be held together, which is from December 4th to the 7th. On the senior calendar, we also have the Four Continents, which is going to be in China, and it's going to be from January 21st to the 25th. Then, of course, we have the Winter's Olympic Games in Italy from February 6th to the 23rd. And then, of course, followed by the ISU World Figure Skating Championship, which is going to be in the Czech Republic, March 24th to the 29th, 2026. So the ISU, the Four Continent, Winter's Olympic, and the World Championship are all going to be 2026 events. Then we have a bunch of Senior Bs and Challenger events. We're starting off with the Cranberry Cup International in Massachusetts from August 7th to the 10th. Then we have the Robin Cousin Cup. Is this brand new, or has this been around and I did not know about it? It's going to be in Sheffield, Great Britain, and it's from August 21st to the 22nd. We have the John Nix Pair Challenge International. I do watch this program whenever I could find it, which is September 2nd to the 3rd. We have the Bolero Cup. Really? Again, that makes perfect sense. Bolero Cup makes perfect sense. Why? Because it's going to be in Sheffield, Great Britain, September 5th to the 6th. Now it makes sense. We have the Kinoshita Group Cup, which is going to be from September 5th to the 7th. Then, of course, we have one of my favorite competition, the Lombardia Trophy, which is going to be in Italy from September 11th to the 14th. Then we have the Olympic qualifying competition in Beijing, China from September 17th to the 21st. We also have the Dembahon Trophy, another one of my favorite, Senior B Challenger event, which is going to be in Germany from September 25th to the 27th. Then we have the Andre Nepola Memorial Trophy, which is going to be in Slovakia from September 25th and to the 27th. So these two events are going to be happening together, which means a lot of skating for me. So that means Nebahorn and Nepola are going to happen the exact same week. Another fan favorite and one of my favorite is the Dennis Ten Memorial. That's going to be in Kazakhstan. So that's going to be October 1st to the 4th. Then we have the Trilati Trophy. Again, I've never heard of this. I think it's going to be in Georgia. It's going to be from October 8th to the 11th. I don't know if this is new or this is the old event that I've just never heard of. We have the Tayside Trophy, again in Great Britain. So many events happening in Great Britain this year. October 11th to the 12th. We have the Mez Luna Cup in Italy from October 15th to the 19th. Warsaw Cup, yay, in Poland. Another one of my favorite events, November 19th to the 23rd. We also have the Tallinn Trophy. It's going to be in Estonia, November 25th to the 30th. Santa Claus Cup in Hungary, Yay! November 28th to December 3rd. I felt like if it was like on December 25th, it would just make so much more sense. Of course, another favorite is the Golden Spin of Zagreb, which is going to be in Croatia. It's going to be from December 3rd and going to December 6th. We literally have something called the Challenger Cup. They didn't want to think of a name, they just called it Challenger Cup. And it's going to be in the Netherlands, and it's from January 22nd to the 25th. We have the Bavarian Open in Germany from January 27th to February 1st. The Denver Cup International. I'm pretty sure this is brand new. It's going to be in Denver, Colorado, and it's going to be from March 11th to the 14th. This is a 2026 event, as is the Bavarian Open and the Challenger Cup. So all of those will be 2026 event. And then finally, we have the Coup de Printemps, which is going to be in Luxembourg, and that is from March 13th to the 15th, 2026. Wow, that is a lot of event this season. And I don't know if how I feel about this. This is going to be like a two-edged sword, because I feel a lot of these skaters are going to want to participate in as many of these events as they possibly can, which I feel might lead to fatigue and exhaustion if they don't pace themselves out. But I also feel like this is a great opportunity for us to get a lot of head-to-head confrontation, and for us to really have a good understanding of what we may or may not see at the Olympics. All in all, this was my everything skating uptake for 7/27/25. So this is just me rounding up everything that I've seen in skating, heard in skating, read in skating. But you guys let me know what you see, what you hear, what is going on in skating. Let me know in the comments.